Mr. Speaker, despite the opposition parties calling for a public independent inquiry, unanimously, Mr. Speaker, despite Canadians and Quebecers wanting the same thing, the Prime Minister insisted on unilaterally appointing a special rapporteur who is anything but independent. The trust of Canadians and Quebecers in this electoral system is at stake. I feel that the first duty of the Prime Minister should be to ensure democracy, to ensure that it's sound. When will the Prime Minister find his sense of responsibility, revoke the special rapporteur position, and create a public and independent inquiry? The Honourable Minister. Mr. Speaker, obviously we share the sentiments of our honourable colleague in terms of protecting democracy, democratic institutions, and to maintain and reinforce the trust of Canadians in those institutions. Mr. Speaker, that's exactly what we did last week by asking Right Honourable David Johnston to act as independent special rapporteur to look at all of the measures that we have taken when we formed government and to make public recommendations as to the next steps to be taken, and we will follow his recommendations. The Honourable Member for La Prairie. Mr. Speaker, Johnston and independent in the same sentence, that doesn't work. It's fine that Mr. Johnson is a friend of the family, that he has a cottage right beside that of the Trudeau family, and we don't even mind that he said that he felt at home in China when he made a trip. 38 million people do feel that this was the wrong choice. So the Prime Minister is really shooting himself in the foot. He needs to get his friend out of this mess and set up a public inquiry that is independent as called for by all Canadians and Quebecers. The Honourable Member for Interparliamentary Affairs. Mr. Speaker, all Canadians recognize the important service that the former Governor-General did for this country and for Canadians. He was the Dean of the Law Faculty. He was the Dean of a university. He is an eminent Canadian, and he will work independently to prepare recommendations. He will look at all the measures that this government has put in place, and he will make recommendations as to what we continue to improve. I think that my honourable colleague should recognize this important gesture. The Honourable Member for Rosemont-la-Petite-Patrie.